Hi everyone, welcome back to Mrs. Hudson's Kitchen. I hope you're all okay and that you're ready for your next episode of Cooking with Mrs. Hudson. Today we are going to be making something really delicious and a lot lower in calories than it would be if you bought it from the shop, which ties in beautifully with Article 24 of your children's rights, which is that every child has the right to a healthy and balanced lifestyle. So today we are making cheese straws. Now, the first thing you need to remember is to wash your hands. So make sure you wash them under running water with lots of soap for at least 20 seconds to make sure your hands are nice and clean and ready to cook. The ingredients that you will need are a block of puff pastry. This is ready roll puff pastry. I bought it from the frozen section. So make sure it's defrosted and then you can roll it out. So some puff pastry, this is 500 grams. You need 1 egg. You need some cheese. Now I've decided to buy some grated hard cheese, which is a little bit like Parmesan, but the Asda stuff's much cheaper. So get your supermarket own brand. You only need 20 grams of that. And then you need some mustard. Now I like to use mustard powder and make mine up into a paste, but if you've got normal mustard, that's fine. It's just a little bit stronger if you've got normal mustard rather than making it up yourself. I like this because you can make it a little bit more runny. And that's it, that's all the ingredients you need. In terms of equipment, you'll need a rolling pin. If you have a pastry brush, but it doesn't matter if you haven't because you can literally just spread it with a knife or with the back of a spoon. And you'll need a sharp knife and make sure you have an adult there to help you when you start cutting. So that's everything we need. We're all ready to get going. So the first thing you need to do is get your pastry, and we'll open up the pastry and then you're going to roll it out. Now the most important thing when you're rolling it out is to make sure that you don't press too hard and that you try and keep it in a rectangle shape. So there's the pastry. Can you see here all the different layers in the pastry? That's what makes it puff pastry, so it all puffs up nice and golden brown. Okay, so I'm going to angle my camera down so you can see what I'm up to. I'll take it the right way. There we go. So let's get rolling. So don't press too hard because you do want to kind of keep it all even. Now I've put some greaseproof paper on my work surface so it doesn't stick. And if you do this, you won't need to put any flour on your work surface. So start rolling. And then after a couple of rolls, I would lift it and turn it just to make sure it doesn't stick to your work surface. There we go, it's moving a little bit because I've got it on the greaseproof paper, so I'll just try and do it one-handed to show you. So roll it, roll it, roll it. It needs to be probably about the depth of a £1 coin when you've rolled it all out. So here we go, rolly, rolly, rolly. Try, as I say, to try and keep it in as much of a rectangle as you can. It doesn't matter if it goes a little bit out. I'll let you off. I'm going to turn it again. See how it's not sticking too badly to the paper. So we need to keep going. You might need an adult to help you with this because it is quite hard work, but it's also good practice. So roll, roll, roll. See how I'm keeping it all fairly even. There's not big lumps in one side. I want it a bit longer than that really. Yeah, that's still too thick. If I show you, see how thick that is? It's still much too thick on the sides. I think I might lose the greaseproof paper for a minute because it's too slidey with that. But just make sure we don't have it sticking, that's better. There we go. I can use both hands now. But I do want to check it's not sticking. Just pull it up, twist it round, and roll again. Now this is going to make 36 cheese straws for you. 36, that's a lot. So we're going to have to do a little bit of maths in a bit so we can work out how to slice this up into 36 cheese straws. I'm going to keep lifting it so it doesn't stick. We're nearly there now. This is nearly the right thickness. I think one more roll going the other way and we will be there. Yeah, that will do us nicely. So mine isn't a perfect rectangle. As you can see, there's a big dip here. See if we can roll it out a little bit. There we go. It's not a perfect rectangle, but it is absolutely fine. They don't need to be perfect. They can be a bit rustic looking. So there we go. Okay, the next thing you need to do is you need 1 teaspoon of your mustard powder, and then you mix it together in a little bowl until you have a paste. So it looks like mustard, doesn't it? There we go. And what I'm going to do with that, I'm going to spoon it onto my pastry. There we go. Try and get all of it out if you can. And you just scoop it off the spoon. There we go. And then I'm just going to spread it out, I think, with the back of my spoon. So you want it spread quite thinly across all of your pastry, because you don't want big clumps of mustard, because that wouldn't be very nice, would it? But this just gives it a really nice flavour. You wouldn't even know it was mustard, I promise you. It doesn't make it spicy. It just gives it a really good flavour. There we go. Go right up to the edges if you can. There we go. See, the back of a spoon works perfectly well. There we go. So that's spread all over really thinly, just to add that flavour. Now at this stage, if you want to add some salt and pepper, you can. I'm not really that bothered, so I'm not going to add it to mine, and it would just be a little sprinkle all the way across your pastry. Right, the next thing you need to do then is get your cheese. If I can open my cheese, there we go. I probably should have weighed this, but I've done these so many times that I know what 20 grams looks like on my pastry. So weigh your 20 grams of cheese out, and then you're just going to sprinkle your cheese all the way across your pastry. I don't think it really matters too much on the measurements, but you don't want too much more than 20 grams, otherwise you start making the calories higher and they'll be all a bit gooey and oozy. There we go. So can you see that? Oh, it's smelling quite strong. If you haven't got a hard cheese like that that's already grated, you can buy some Parmesan and you can grate it yourself. Now the next thing you need to do is to fold your pastry lengthways like that. Now I'm going to spin it round so you'll then be able to see really clearly how I'm cutting it. Right, now we need to make 36 straws out of this, and the easiest way to do it is, are you listening carefully? Listen to all these fractions. So we're going to cut this whole piece into thirds. So thirds are 3 equal parts. There we go. Then we're going to cut each of the thirds into thirds. There we go. Try and be as accurate as you can. Don't need to measure it though. Just as accurate as you can, so all your cheese twists are going to be a similar sort of size. And then this one into thirds. Make sure you have an adult helping you when you are cutting with a sharp knife. So we've cut it into thirds, then into thirds again. Then what I'm going to do is cut each one in half. That one's a funny shape at the end, isn't it? So that one's going in half, and in half, and in half. And this is a bit tricky. You need to hold the pastry down as well, because the Parmesan has stopped it sticking together too well. So into thirds, sorry, into half, into half, into half, into half, and into half. You know what? I think I might leave it at that because these will be really nice and chunky. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, shall I go for 36? No, I'm going to leave it at 18. So we're going to have 18 cheese straws. If you wanted to, you could slice it again and there'd be really skinny cheese straws, but I've decided I'm going to go for really chunky ones. Okay, you can chop each one in half again and it'll make a really thin cheese string or cheese straw, but I'm going to go chunky and big. So you now need a tray that is lined with baking parchment. Then what you do is you pick up your cheese string and you twist it. Can you see? And then you just pop it on your tray. Now you'll need to leave a lot of space in between these because they will rise. There we go, squash it down onto your tray. It shouldn't stick. So twist. And I'm going to leave quite a big gap there because I don't want them all sticking together. And twist. So that's number 3. Should we count them as we go? What number is this one? That's right, it's number 4. So twist, twist, twist. Oh, and she drops it. There we go. If you squash them down onto the tray, hopefully they'll keep their twisty shape. This one's number 5. Number 6. I'm going to put number 6 down the side. There we go. Number 7. One up there. Number 8. Shall I move it forward a little bit so you can see? I will in a minute. And number 9. There we go. So I've got 9 on this tray. If I had 18 to start with, how many have I got left? That's right, I've got another 9, haven't I? Because 9 and 9 is 18. So let's get my other tray. And I'm going to pop these on my other tray. So we're going to do exactly the same again. We're just going to twist, 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 twist. That's 1, 2. This is a great job. 3, they're a bit messy. 4. Now don't worry if the cheese falls out because you can just sprinkle it over the top when you're finished. 5. 6. How many more have I got? 7. This one's going to be a funny shape. 8. And this very last one, I might just chop the end off that one to make it straight. And number, oh, where am I going to put number 9? Just there will do. Hopefully they won't rise all into each other. Now I've got quite a lot of cheese on my work surface here. So what I'm going to do is just sprinkle it over the top of what I've got on my tray. Yum, yum, yum. And I'll use the rest to sprinkle over the other one, which is behind me. There we go. Just going to wash my hands because they're a little bit messy. So the next thing you need to do is crack your egg into a little tub. So do you remember, oh, a long time ago I showed you how to crack an egg. So you tap on the side 3 times, but not too hard. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. And then that opens up the middle there, and you can put your fingers in and let it plop down into your dish. Then, if you get a fork, and just give that a little mix around until it's all blended together. There we go. Now this is where I'm going to use my pastry brush. Say, if you haven't got one, it doesn't matter. You can just use the back of a spoon. But what you're going to do now, let me get this in front of me, is you're just going to egg wash the top of your cheese straws. And the reason that you do this is so they turn out nice and golden brown. So it just gives it a nice shiny finish when you pull them out the oven. For no other reason than decoration, really. So you need to do that on every single one. Just brush, brush, brush across the top. Brush, brush, brush. Get into all the little gaps if you can. There we go. And then once you've done all of that, you will need to bake these in the oven at 190 degrees for about 20 minutes or until they're nice and golden brown. So you'll know when they're cooked. You'll see that they're lovely and golden brown and we've got no soggy bits on the bottom. So that's my first tray all done. Let me show you so you can see. You see how they're nice and twisted? They look lovely, don't they? I think these are going to be huge. And they're going to be really big because normally I normally make 32 of these, but let's give them a go at doing them bigger. And then if you have just one of these strings, now that we've made them twice as big, they're about 64 calories each. Now I know the little ones that you get in the shops are a lot higher in calories than that, so these are a healthier option, and I think you can buy low-fat pastry as well. So if you want to make them even more healthy, you can get some low-fat pastry and have a go with that as well. So we're down to our last three now of just egg washing them. So we're nearly there and nearly ready to get them in the oven. These are a real treat and they go really nicely as just a little snack in your lunchbox if you bring lunch boxes to school. There we go. So that's them all ready to go in the oven. So as I say, they go in the oven at 190 degrees for 20 minutes. So I'll see you back in 20 minutes time when these are all cooked. Well, welcome back. Are yours cooked? Mine are, and they smell divine. Would you like to see them? Look at those. Let me lift one up so you can see it. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful twist. Can you see all the layers in the puff pastry here? You know what, I'm going to try it. Give it the taste test for you. Yum, yum, yum. Now, if you've never tried them before, it's definitely one to give a go. So I hope you enjoyed our cooking session today, and we'll be back next week with a sweet treat. So enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.